Gentlemen, don't be the guy in the room. A long, sloppy looking untucked shirt. Go to untuckit.com, code Colin, 20% off. Untuckit.com, new fall and winter arrivals, COLIN is the code. All right, listen. I don't want to do one of these bang on my chest. I know it's going to be right because I actually thought that Westbrook would win about 50 games. You know, there's just so many good players. Steven Adams, underrated. Paul George, good shooter. Westbrook's a dynamic player. I figured they'd be a good team. It ain't working. They got blown out at home. They're 12-14. Melo shooting percentage, worst of his career. Westbrook, of the 33 players in the NBA, listen to this, of the 33 guys in the NBA shooting at least 15 points, 15 times a game, Westbrook's got the lowest field goal percentage. There are rookies that have a higher percentage. Paul George, his field goal percentage gone down. Point is, when you have more stars, you should be more efficient, like Golden State. They're less efficient. Chris, it's not working. If they don't make a move on Paul George, they're not going to get anything for him.
No, I mean, what I would do if I was, first of all, I heard you talking about Westbrook's the problem. I disagree with that. Obviously, he is not your traditional point guard that gets everybody involved. However, he is the guy of their big three who's won more than anybody.
Yes.
And I think what they would need to do, put Melo on the bench, let him be that second unit guy, just like Dwayne Wade is in Cleveland. And the second problem is I don't think Billy Donovan's got the strong enough personality to go and make that move, number one, or just tell these guys, look, this is the way we're playing. We're moving the ball, and you got the perfect opportunity now because obviously this ISO game one-on-one isn't working. But I don't think he'll do that. That being the case, what I would do is if I was them, I'd try to make those changes. But then I'd give it until the first week of January.
Okay.
If this is still looking bad, then
so instead of 12-14, they're 16-22, and you just say,
yeah, because this year, I mean, you're not going anywhere anyway. So then I would give it a few more weeks, as I said, and then if it doesn't get better, I'm looking to move Paul George.
Okay, now let's talk about that because I think that's a real possibility.
Because why? Yeah, why? I mean, he's not staying.
Of course.
Have you seen now? Look, this is total speculation. I'm not a body language expert.
Oh God,
he does not look happy.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
He is not
at all.
So here's my thing. You know, he said he wants to be a Laker. Do you think there's a better landing spot?
Yeah, because I think, look, there are only a handful of teams that would trade for him. Because who's giving up anything of value for Paul George when you don't think you can keep him past this season? So it's a team that thinks it can win now, or the Lakers. The team that can win now, Cleveland. And I was told that when George, there was talk about him going there over the summer.
Yes.
That he has a player option.
Yes.
He doesn't have to become a free agent. I was told he was willing to give Cleveland 2 years if LeBron would stay, and they could give it not just this year, but next year too. So if you're Cleveland, it makes all the sense in the world to go after Paul George, whether it's Shumpert, Tristan Thompson.
Would you give them, like, for instance, in the deal, would you give them like a pick to get it done?
I'd give them my first round pick. I wouldn't give them Brooklyn's pick. Because that's my only saving grace if LeBron leaves, is I have this Brooklyn pick and maybe I get, the kid from Duke or whoever. So I wouldn't give him that. I would even give him, if I had to, I'd hate to because he's playing great right now, but Kevin Love. Because here's the thing. If LeBron leaves, what's Kevin Love doing for me? He's going to put up numbers. He's a legitimate all-star player, but we're not winning, and I can get off his contract anyway. So even if you say, well, you risk losing Love if George leaves after this year, well, that's a risk I'll take. But I think Cleveland is definitely would be right there at the top of the potential landing spots for Paul George, right along with the Lakers, if they trade him. And they should. They should trade him.
Oh, there's no question. Listen, this is one of these things where I'm not a big believer in, like, not that loyalty doesn't matter. I'm loyal to my wife. I'm loyal to my kids. I'm loyal to my bosses as long as I feel they're loyal to me. I'm not anti-loyalty. But Oklahoma City, listen, we all know the game. Is that Oklahoma City had lost Harden and lost KD. They were not going to lose Russell Westbrook. So they overpay. They sign these players. In the end, like, I go back to this. It's very possible, I think probable, that Oladipo's better without Westbrook. Enes Kanter's numbers have gone up. Sabonis' numbers have gone up. By the way, don't you think it's ironic that Oladipo and Harden, Oladipo, KD are named players of the week? Is it possible that Westbrook's a great player, But he's not. He's hard to play with.
That's a fact. He's like Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was a great all-time, obviously first ballot Hall of Famer icon. He's an icon. But he was difficult to play with. Chris Webber, Jerry Stackhouse, you throw anybody who could really do something on their own and wasn't just catch and shoot. It's tough because, like Iverson, a lot of Westbrook's assists are I'm going to the hole, I can't get something, I'm kicking it to you. It's last-second passes that guys aren't in their rhythm. But here's the thing, and I'm kind of with you on this with Westbrook. As much as I like him, he's going to be an icon.
Yes.
He's going to be, obviously, first ballot Hall of Famer. He probably won't win a championship.
No.
But he is going to be an iconic basketball figure.
Like I've said,
it is what it is.
He'll never, to me, be a championship player unless it's at the end of his career when he's the third best guy and he comes to terms with, here's what I am. But I always go back to something, a real simple thing I was taught years ago by an NBA GM, is that if a player is under 6'5", he can only be great if he can shoot. John Wall can't shoot. Derrick Rose can't shoot. Westbrook. You can get numbers. But if you're under 6'5", if you are not an elite shooter, it is a major disadvantage in the postseason when you play the best defenders, the best teams, and the best coaches in a 7-game series, that you can't drive to the basket. It will wear down your butt. Kobe Bryant eventually and Michael didn't drive to the basket as much.
And they were 6'6", too. I mean, just going along
and
with
Michael
that
was
theory.
strong. Is that Westbrook and John Wall, Wall's breaking down. Iverson.
So you're saying postseason, not regular season, because obviously these guys are good.
But when you go to the postseason and I play the same team 7 times and I'm 6'3" and can't shoot, I'm going to have to drive the basket. You're facing the best teams, the best bigs, the most physical players, the best coaches. They're going to beat down on you. And so I always look, whenever like a John Wall, a Derrick Rose, a Westbrook come in, and they're under 6'5", and I know they're not good shooters, my takeaway is limited player. Like I love Ben. Now, Ben Simmons is 6'9" and can't shoot, but he can finish at the rim. I think he's going to add weight. He's really a strong player. He has court so there's this line of demarcation for me in the NBA. 6'5" or less, if you can't shoot, you're going to get your body beat up. You're going to struggle in the postseason eventually. Most of the great guys who are not great shooters under 6'5", they don't have titles.
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas was a great. But he could shoot. He wasn't like just a Steph Curry, but yeah, he could shoot.
Curry's
could
got
shoot
titles.
well enough. Yep.
All right. Yep. Chris Broussard. So, by the way, just an update on Lonzo. Every time you come on the show, your NBA guys, he had a very good game last week. Your scouts, are they warming to him? He debuts Madison Square Garden. I think it's tonight.
Yeah, I heard. Who was it? Shannon on
Shannon Sharp.
Undisputed talking
What did
about,
he say?
He put him in the same sense. Well, when LeBron and Kobe, those guys go to the Garden, they light it up. Let's see what Lonzo does. I'm like, let's not even put Lonzo in the same sentence with those guys. The guys I've talked to in the NBA, they're the same way on him. They're like, look, he's gonna be fine. They're not saying he's gonna be a star. Some do think that. But most think he'll be a good player. His problem is he's just being over-scrutinized because of all the attention his dad put on him.
All right, Chris Broussard, you got a podcast. Give it a shout-out here.
In the Zone. We'll have Earl Watson on this week. Some great stories from Earl about Russell Westbrook, your favorite player.
Yeah.
Devin Booker. Devin Booker has an interesting theory on Michael Jordan.
I know. I know what you're talking about. All right. With TrueCar, you can find out what other people in your area paid for the same car you're looking for. On average, save $3,000 off MSRP. Doesn't matter if it's a new car. Doesn't matter if it's a used car. Visit TrueCar.com to enjoy a more confident car buying experience.